Hello friends, I am Kavita and today I have come up with new topic, that is ANOVA. And if you'll see your IGNOU assignment section B of statistic, question number 2 is all about ANOVA. So the question says, compute ANOVA for the following data that indicates the scores obtained by 3 groups on employees on job satisfaction scale. Fine. So 3 groups are given, group A, group B and group C. And the following data is given for these employees. Okay. Now here, while solving, firstly we are going to write the data which is given to us. Fine. Here K is equal to 3. Now what is K? K is number of groups. Group A is 1. Group B is 2, group C is 3. So K is 3. So number of groups we have got 3 and it is denoted by K. And then N equal to 10. Now what is this N? N is each group has how many cases? So first group has 10 cases. So N is 10 for each case. If you will see here, 10 cases are there. In the group B, 10 cases are there. In group A. So N is 10 for each group. Fine. Now here I have written N equal to 13. Here the N was small, but here the N is capital. It means it is total number of cases. So when you will add 10 plus 10 plus 10, it becomes 30. So total number of units in the group are 30. Fine. After that, null hypothesis. Now we are going to make null hypothesis. Now H naught. Null hypothesis is denoted by H naught. Fine. H naught equal to mu1 equal to mu2 equal to mu3. Now what is this mu1, mu2 and mu3? This is mean of each group. Mean of group 1, mean of group 2 and mean of group 3. Fine. So we have made the assumptions that the mean of 3 groups are equal. Okay. This is our assumption. Now further we'll see that our assumption is accepted or rejected. Fine. Okay. From here the main thing is starting. Okay. You have to make a table. First is serial number. Then group A, group B and group C. Fine. How many data is given? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So in group A, 10 cases are there. So serial number will be 10. Fine. Group A, we have denoted the data for group A as X1. Fine. So this is the data of X1. Now in this third column, first column is of serial number. Then second column is for group A, and now in the third column we are going to square it. Fine. We are going to square this. We have taken it as X1. So X1 square. Fine. 56 into 56, 3136. 66 into 66, 4356. In the same way we are going to square each given data. Fine. Now in group B, we are going to take the data as X2. So in this column, we have written the data of group B. Fine. In fourth column, we are going to square this given data. X2 square means 23 into 23, 34 into 34 and so on. Okay. Third data which is given to us is group C. Group C is written here. The data is written here and we have taken it as X3. Fine. Now we are going to square this data. By squaring this data, by squaring this we have got these answers. Fine. 34 into 34, 1156. 56 into 56, 3136. 54 into 54, 2916. In the same way, we have calculated our x3 ka square. Now moving further, what we have to do, we have to calculate the sum. Okay, 56 plus 66 from first to the end. We are going to calculate the sum of this. Okay, so sum of this second column is 445. Now sum of x1 square. Okay, sum of x1 square data is 21917. Now sum of x2, 23 plus 34 plus 33 plus 44. In the same way, sum of this is 434. Fine. Now sum of x2 square. Now we have to do the sum of this column. So the sum of this is 20990. Now in the same way, we are going to do the sum of x3 column, and the calculated value is 374. In the next column, again we are going to do the sum of their squares. Fine. And the answer is 15526. Okay. Now one thing you have to remember, that while calculating, please be careful, because a small mistake will change your whole answer. Fine. So while calculating, just be careful. Now we have calculated our sum of x1, sum of x2, sum of this square, sum of x2 square, sum of x3, and sum of x3 square. Okay, this is the sign of sum. Okay, this is the sum of sign. This is the sum of sign of sum. I'm so sorry. This is the sign of sum, and this is also the sign of sum. Fine. We have done the sum. Now moving further. Okay, now we are going to start with the actual steps where we are going to use the formula. Fine. Yes, you know, there are total 8 steps. Just because of this, you will find that ANOVA comes for around 10 marks. You will always see this question in 10 marker. Fine. So step first, very easy steps. Every step is interrelated, so we have to do each and every step very carefully. Fine. So step 1, we have to calculate correlation term. Correlation term is denoted by CX. Okay, now the formula for CX is sum of x whole square. Please note it down. Whole square upon n. Okay, now sum of x. What will be sum of x? Because if you'll see, we have not calculated sum of x. We have calculated x1, x2 and x3. Okay, now I'll show you what is sum of x. X means x1 plus x2 plus x3. Maths background people, they don't need explanation for this, I guess. Okay, now x is nothing but the sum of all the 3 groups. Fine. Let's see. So sum of x1 plus x2 plus x3 whole square upon, now what is this n? This n is capital N, means total. So total, how we got the total n? By adding n1 plus n2 plus n3, by calculating the number of cases of each group. So in group A there were 10, in group B there were 10, and in group 3 there were 10. So 10 plus 10 plus 10. Okay, so n is n1 plus n2 plus n3, which is 30. Fine. So sum of x1, if you'll see sum of x1, it is 445, and that is what we have written, 445. If you'll see sum of x2, it is 434. Sum of x3 is 374. So 445 plus 434 plus 374 whole square upon 10 plus 10 plus 10. And when you will calculate this, you will get the answer. Cx will be then 5233.63. Okay. Now moving further. This was our first step. Very easy step. If you remember the formula, you can calculate it easily. Second step. Sum of squares of total. Okay. Now we are going to do the sum of squares of total data which is given to us. Okay. And it is denoted by SS. SS is sum of squares. Okay. Total is denoted as T. So SST means sum of squares of total. Okay. And the formula for step 2 is SST equal to sum of x square. Okay. Now the difference between this and this. It is whole ka square, but it is x square. Okay. Minus cx. Remember this point, otherwise whole answer will be wrong. So be careful. This is whole ka square. This is only sum of x square. Fine. Now sum of x square will be sum of x1 square plus sum of x2 square plus sum of x3 square minus 6 cx. Cx is correlation term. Okay. Now what is the actual difference between these two? I'll show you. Okay. It is x1 plus x2 plus x3. x1 plus x2 plus x3 के sum का whole square. But here it is x1 square plus x2 square plus x3 square. Okay. x1 square plus x2 square plus x3 square. We have already calculated it. So 21917 plus 20990 plus 15526 minus correlation term is given here. Put it here. Fine. Now sum of squares of total, when you will calculate this whole, you will get 6099.37. Okay. Now moving further. These were our two steps. Now the third step. Step 3. Sum of squares among the group. Okay. Among is also, we can also say between the groups. Between means first group, second group, third group. Okay. Now we are calculating the sum of squares among the group. Okay. Here we did total. Now here among. Fine. And it is denoted as SSA. SS is sum of squares. A is among. Okay. And the formula for this. Again, be careful. It is sum of x whole square. Okay. Whole square upon n. Now, the square is only in the first part, not in the second part. Do remember. Minus cx. Cx is correlation term. Fine. Now moving further. We'll put the values now. Okay. The formula is sum of x whole square. So we'll write it as sum of x1 square plus sum of x2 square plus sum of x3 square. And that whole n is n1 plus n2 plus n3. Okay. Minus cx. Okay. Now x1 square, we have already calculated it. Fine. Sum of x1 square, we have already calculated. x2, we have already calculated. x3, we have already calculated. So we'll put x1, x2, x3 and we'll do the square of that. Fine. We'll put the value of x1, x2, x3. We'll do the square. I have not written this second step. I have directly squared the thing. Okay. x1. I have directly squared 445. so don't get confused. 445 square I've written here, then 434 square I've written directly here. Okay, if you want to add, you can add that, fine. Now n1 is 10 cases, n2 10 cases, n3 10 cases. Minus cx we have already calculated. SSA, okay, when we'll calculate this and minus this. Here what we have to remember in this step is our board mass. Okay, board mass means firstly we are going to do the addition part and then we are going to do the subtraction part. Okay, so firstly we'll add these three, then we'll subtract. Okay, we can't do the vice versa, fine. Okay, so when we calculated, we got SSA, sum of squares among the group 292.07, fine. Now next step, fourth step. Okay, in fourth step what we have to do, sum of squares within the group. Among the group we have done, now within the group, अपने ही ग्रुप में, अपने सिंगल के ग्रुप में, fine, within the group. So the formula for this, okay, we denote it by SSW. SS is sum of squares and W is within. Okay, the formula is sum of squares of total minus sum of squares of among the group, and these two we have already calculated. So we just have to put the values and we'll get our sum of squares within the group, fine. Next, step 5. In step 5 we are going to calculate the mean. Okay, mean sum of squares among the group. We have already calculated sum of squares among the group, but now we have to calculate mean sum of squares among the group, and it is denoted as MSSA. M is mean sum of squares among the group, and the formula for this is SSA upon K minus 1. K is number of groups, group A, group B and group C. So group A, group B, group C is how many? There are how many groups? 3 groups, fine. So K3 minus 1, SSA 292.07. Okay, by putting all the values you will get MSSA equal to 146.035. Okay, now moving forward, sixth step is mean sum of squares within the group. Now it is denoted as M, mean is M, sum of square is SS, within is W. Fine, MSSW is equals to SSW upon N minus K. Here it was K minus 1, here it is N minus K. Fine, when we'll put the values SSW and the next one, just a second. Okay, the second is N minus K. N is total cases 30. 30 minus K, number of group, 3 groups. Okay, when we calculated it, how much we got? We got MSSW equal to 215.08. Now next step 7th, there we have to calculate F ratio. Okay, F ratio, the formula for F ratio is MSSA upon MSSW. Now what is MSSA? Mean sum of squares among the group. MSSW, mean sum of squares within the group. These two we have already calculated. We have to just put the values and we'll get our F ratio. So F ratio is 0.678. Now the most important step. People think that we can skip this step, but this is the most important part of the ANOVA test. Fine, it is summary of ANOVA. It is known as summary of ANOVA, where we have to make a table, and in that table we are going to make 3 rows and how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. Fine, and The first row will be of source of variance, here among the group, within the group. DF is degree of freedom. SS, sum of square among the group, okay, and sum of square within the group. Fine. MSS is mean sum of square and F ratio. Fine. DF, how do we calculate degree of freedom for among the group? For that, the formula is K minus 1. How many groups are there? 3. So 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay. So degree of freedom for among the group is 2. Okay. And for within the group, the formula is N minus K. So total cases are 30 minus number of groups are 3. So it is 27. Fine. Now sum of square among the group. Okay. Sum of squares among the group we have already calculated. I'll show you. Sum of squares among the group. We have to just, and next also sum of squares within the group. We have to just note down the values here. Sum of squares among the group and sum of squares within the group. Fine. Now, mean sum of square. This also we have calculated. Mean sum of square within the group is given here. And mean sum of square among the group, we calculated it here. Fine. So, we have noted it down here. Simply we have to copy it. Fine. F ratio. We have calculated F ratio here. So 0.678. Now the last part, that is interpretation. Interpretation. How we are going to interpret this thing. So we have to see our table for this. Okay. And the tables are given in your IGNOU book. I'll try to attach it in my video in the end. Fine. So the interpretation, for interpretation, what we are going to do, we are going to check the value at 0.05 level of significance. Okay. And for that, degree of freedom will be 2 and 27. Okay. At 0.05 level of significance, degree of freedom 2 and 27. When you'll see that the F value in that will be 3.35 for these 2 degrees. Okay. But our calculated F value is 0.678. So calculated value is 0.678 and the tabular value is 3.35. Okay. Now 3.35 is greater than this. It means our calculated value is less. Okay. It is smaller than the critical value. We call it as critical value also. Okay. So calculated value is smaller than the critical value. Therefore, we conclude that the obtained F ratio is significant. It is significant. And therefore, the null hypothesis is accepted. It means the mean of 3 groups is equal. We accept that null hypothesis. Okay. Now, friends, in my next video, I'll try to make the video on the basis of this particular table. Okay, F table. Okay, so that you should know कि कैसे हम F table का use करते हैं. I'll try to make video on that. If you want, just do let me know. Okay, if you want, कैसे हम F table में value देखेंगे for these 2 degrees or for any degree, just do let me know. Okay, and if you liked my video, then please like and subscribe my channel, and I'll make videos on not only on stats but on our different subjects. Okay, child psychology and research. Fine. Okay, thank you so much.